I can accept part payment. Bring.
Yeah, just kind of
Bring.
So
you deprived me of otherwise I'll take you to LDC.
We're gonna take off.
And a cover one. Just to limited. Wano community nze switch. Kati wano kaba kweka community. Kati wano kweka.
Now, 24. It would be 24. But we didn't do like PAL. We didn't do like 1 year or 2. Yeah, so it's a statistic I would particularly avoid. Very tricky.
Okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, the service park is open and service will be limited to only 10 minutes in which I believe you can get your refreshment, the breakfast, chap, so we can get the function started for the day. It is the launch of the 2024 Shelby Power Pearl of Africa Rally Uganda, part of the Africa Rally Championship Series, around in the National Rally Championship, and indeed one of the most exciting events, not only in the country, but on the continent and possibly over the world. So we'll be starting in a few minutes from now, as you can quickly pick your breakfast and the time marshals will get us moving.
You explain what's really happening. Can go take even your knowledge of motorsport, even emphasizing on your safety. Our school is safety. So you be like a discussion.
And then when to interviewing a driver, he has to talk about safety. Any person. Safety. Meaning that we just want to get quite away. We can use this.
But still,
we can use this.
We can use this thing.
Because challenge.
We can use this. We can improvise.
You can just stand there.
Like when we are doing the interviews, that's when we emphasize safety, or when the launch is going on, we can be having a conversation.
No, what they are saying, but as you point,
like the thing is going on, and we're having like a presentation trying to explain it or something.
Yeah, you're going to explain even before. They're inviting the minister. Let's listen what Mr. Chatugamba to have. Then when I get there, emphasize. Not the time we come
Omongo no mubire no bifunza Baba kuwali enzana kukonda Eula bulwazi takalya mubumba I'm in a body fashion Kuno mubiri gwagala kukwesika Wekola bibyo no question Mulavu ngenda na kupongeza Yezali mugumya masuka Yezali mugumya masuka Yezali polizali kuntala Ima mulujo yali soka Yezali mugumya masuka Yezali mugumya masuka Yezali polizali kuntala Ima mulujo yali soka Sena kuita mwende Eka balala bakende Yakuna kutamina wenge Zeno tomeza bisenge Mbasasira na bakukwana Zibyange biba bya matala Zekululwa sitya kuswala Nebwe kinaba kyakulwana Jakulwana Samaso ganda ze mutima kwa siku suubizo ndaba Kwa mtu omumuna Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the car. Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you. Me got a girl on me bed right now. She say she no one leave. She tell me, Ruga, me I want to spend the rest of me life with you. Me say no shit. Oh Lord, fly you to Maldives for a day, then we fly back quick. Then we take a quick jet, fly straight to Paris. You fucking with the creme de la creme. Say she never seen a guy like me. Yeah, she confess. Say nobody hit it right like me. She confess. Bend down, get on your knees, girl, never digress. Ooh. She really wanna flex with me. She wanna break bread with me. Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the car. Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the car. Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Clarity won't be me. Squad niggas them out with me. Ice on me looking fresh and clean. Definitely put me eye patch on me. Take my vanilla cold stone in my villa. The one drop yo is a sativa on go. Say she never seen a guy like me. Yeah, she confess. Say nobody hit it right like me. She confess. Bend down, get on your knees, girl, never digress. Ooh, she really wanna flex with me. She wanna break bread with me. Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the car. Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Bad man looking good in the air. Bad man drip to the car. Sports cars parked on the right spot. Bad man slick and you know. Me not get time for love, definitely not. Me get girls around to come warm me up. Me and the prince will pull up in leads. VSOPs to my monami. My vanilla cold
look back to
in a
in a rally career.
Sativa on go.
I'll walk around and ask one simple question. Probably you'll get a second helping at the breakfast. Which year in which did Uganda host its Cheer did Uganda host its first Pearl of Africa run? Anybody available for that? Anybody available for that? Big prize awaits. Possibly a drive in one of the fastest cars we have around in the country.
Nenga ukwendi
Yogera nnyo kwa wali loud.
1996, an event won by Karim Heritage. Fantastic, and later transformed to which particular event the following year?
Nawe wandibaddeko actually. Ompulira bulungi? Ompulira? Ompulira? That is okay. Anti tugenda kuba twogera babiri. Tulina kamu. We are two. Ompulira kati I'm loud.
And for now, I told you recognize the arrival of the President-elect, current President of the Federation of Motorsport Clubs of Uganda,
You don't have to look like a shabby man.
James Akena. Ladies and gentlemen, our hands together. Big round of applause for the arrival of the President of FNG.
No, the other person who will be talking will have to be loud. They just have to be loud, and where you move closer to them.
Our sponsors, Federation or ex-top members,
You'll have to move closer.
drivers,
The other person, because when he does like this, it looks very unprofessional.
that is
Either
Rally. The big event is coming in a few days' time. For those
Hello?
who haven't
Otulia.
fixed their time,
Otulya bulungi.
Ntino wanakola bino, we don't, it either has to be a mic, ompulira, it either has to be a mic, obono omuntu ayo, just mugamba ayogere louder.
to watch.
naye kakati awo oli live
It's a big opportunity
kati
to
just
join
tanaba kutuukako
the Shelby Power Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally.
Really?
Quite a unique event this time round of the African Rally Championship,
zigyeko
and definitely sets the ball rolling for those vying for this year's title.
Okay.
Kutekako on.
We
Now,
have to do the introduction first.
Go on in one corner.
Fetugenze.
I'll keep asking my questions about the Pearl of Africa Rally.
Understand this? Akantu kano twetaaga kakwata nga oli adagamba nkambale mbwobeera udda, but I think it's better kakwata. Kakwata mu ngalo. Then bwe mwanekuwe. Tutandike tutambule.
Another question for another drive in the rally car.
Katolwedde wali
To the Pearl of
batandise.
Africa Rally. Who has won the most Pearl of Africa rallies since its inception?
Kwegali anti ngenda kuteekako.
Who
So
has
katukola
won
introduction one.
the most Pearl of Africa rallies since its inception?
Talatse.
That is a question I'll leave for you, a bit of homework for you that you have to do as you get into the round of
Welcome to the launch of the Pearl of Africa Rally 2024. We are at Kabira Country Club launching an event sponsored by Shell, KCB, and this is the first RC event of this year. I'm with Lawrence Mwambazi, a co-driver, a competitor, and a journalist as well. Tell us about the launch. How is everything going for you?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Kabira Country Club, and this is the Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally 2024 launch. Looking at this event, the event is going to run on the 10th, from the 10th to the 12th of this very month. That is probably next weekend. So far, a list of 38 entries. In their entries. On the list, we have 2 foreign crews and 6 ARC registered crews. So it's going to be an action-packed event for sure. We're expecting a little bit of rain on the weekend, and it's as well going to be a wet rally. So the fans should come with their gears, rally gears. As expected, you have to be a good spectator. You have to know what you need on the rally days. Get your boots, get your umbrellas, get something to drink, and most especially, actually emphasizing more and more on safety. Stay out of the road. Don't look the other way when the car is coming from the other side. Prioritize first. We are here and we are going to be looking at, we are going to be moving around, doing some interviews from different people, different drivers. We have drivers around, we have officials around, and we have the newly elected president, Mr. Kenna, is here with us today.
If you don't know who Mafumafu is, who Just Bayaye is,
and so far I'm seeing one car,
those are all drivers.
Oscar Ntambi,
a KCB sponsored rally driver, and actually in the last event, Oscar Ntambi put up a very, very good show in the Toyota Alteza, and I think he won the two-wheel drive championship. Quite epic for him. I'm not surprised that KCB is sponsoring him again this year. I'm looking forward to see who else KCB is sponsoring.
Actually, KCB is sponsoring the Subaru N14. To give you a brief about that Subaru N14, Mike Mukula's N14. The dad brought it here. He bought actually 2 cars, the N12 and the N14. He gave one to Michael. Michael was very dangerous in the N12 last year. I think you remember him.
I think there was no difference between
times with the top crews, the Patels and Mangats.
Driving, and Mike, he just told me one thing. You cannot separate Mike Mukula and the N12. It is just one unit. That's how coordinated and how effective can stay in the N12. But now he's in outing. We are going to see of that N14. It was in the last Pearl of Africa rally. We were expecting him to drive the NRC this season, but we are only seeing him on the Pearl of Africa being his first event. So we are looking forward to put up. We know him as a very aggressive driver, and really the fans are looking out for him.
Yeah, and talk about Oscar Ntambe. That car, we all remember it, it belonged to Arthur Blick. Actually, Amin brought that car to Uganda. It was a brand new car. It came from Cyprus. He gave it to Arthur Blick. Arthur Blick drove the car. Ownership to Yasin Nasser.
Oh, it's a central.
Yeah, that's the N10. The N10 for the KCB sponsored N10 for Oscar Ntambe. It was for Arthur Blick. Arthur Blick, Amin sold it to Yasin Nasser. Yasin Nasser later on sold it to Mark Lubega. You know, you all remember Mark Lubega, how he performed. Shall be giving you an interview of Oscar Ntambe as zone.
The stages are released actually this month.
As well as Surambaya is Toyota Celica ST205, which also won very many rallies under the hands of in the hands of Karim Heritage.
Yeah.
On Sunday we have a shorter itinerary. We still start at 8 in the morning, but we are looking to finish at 12 noon. And here we shall do one pass. The second and final pass is Surambaya stage will also double as the power stage, which drivers with extra points for performing well on the stage. Rally ends with our ceremony at the source of the Nile where it all started. To be, you know, looking at the weather, it might be wet, but I promise you, everything is going to go well. We have we've put together a very safety plan and an emergency response plan, and we hope everything will go so well. Yeah, so please, you should all turn up and come and enjoy the sports.
Thank you very much, Mr. CSC. If you miss the Macarena stage, then you definitely don't have known what Macarena was all about when Macarena was Macarena.
Jackson.
Not the song.
So confirming very off.
Yeah, not the Macarena song.
So confirming.
But Macarena.
Just had the presentation from the COC.
What Macarena is all about. Drive on prizes to give away. Anybody tell me about Macarena? Good. Macarena was a slipper on the stage. Anybody else with a different thought?
champions in the championship this year, and they kicked off a few weeks ago. Saidi Kaketo from FMU XCOM as well. The man that runs the business, FMU. And importantly too, is to recognize the newly elected XCOM Assistant GS, JJ Serwanga. JJ, busy with the IT business. The General Secretary, Ray Kadok Kabira. And President-elect, James Akena. But again, we also have people that are making sure that the Pearl of Africa rally happens. From Shell V-Power, Mark Mutunji, the brand manager. Mark, right there. Your business is coming next week, I believe. Definitely the stages will be painted red. And if you do not have an account with this bank, please, we have the account opening forms right at the desk there. Once you register, we, the bank, shall deposit for you money. Yes? We shall deposit for you money. No FRIS business. We shall not include FRIS in that process. But we shall deposit for you money. So the forms will be at the table there.
Just to take you through the itinerary as explained by the COC.
There's that popular song,
on 10th, we shall have the free practice, which will be at Wairaka. That is a 6 kilometer stage, which will begin at exactly 9. That one will be done by the
Madam Diana
Cruz.
Komukama
And we shall have the qualifying stage
for KCB
that one will only be done by the 6 ARC Cruz
unveil the big package that the bank has put in our account.
At noon we shall have the shakedown at Bujagari, which should be what most of us call the super special stage. It will be at Bujagari. That will be a 2.5 kilometer stage, which will begin at exactly noon. And that will be Uganda, the Friday,
the rally family, fellow sponsors, members of the press, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I kind of like the weather like this. It's not hot, it's not it's threatening to rain, but it's an absolute pleasure to be back here again as we prepare for another thrilling, exhilarating Pearl of Africa Rally 2024. As KCB Bank, you know, Pearl of Africa is at our heart, yes? And we have maintained our commitment every year. We have met you, members of the press, and said we are in this together. And this year, we are again in this together. Not only supporting the FMU, but also supporting our local drivers. And this year, we just added a little something to the Pearl of Africa Rally. KCB Bank Uganda, that you all know, is very, very passionate about sports because we recognize the impact that it has on our communities. As KCB, we have wanted to see the Pearl of Africa go level to level. And I must commend the FMU for the work that has been put into. I remember when we came in and we were on a last card and everything on safety was, you know, shaky, and they pulled it off. And last year we had a successful event. And I truly believe that this year will even be more successful. To the new committee, we are cheering for you, we are rooting for you, we are in this, and we'll keep pushing forward. And we encourage us all to come next week. But before then, I'm proud to present our sponsorship as KCB. We'll be sponsoring the Pearl of Africa Rally with 80 million Uganda shillings cash. We shall also be sponsoring our drivers to a tune of 60 million shillings. So we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you cheer together. Don't forget your gumboots. I know it always rains. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just before you leave, remember what I told you. Sign up with KCB and with Papa. Your money is there. 80 million shillings for FMU, ladies and gentlemen. I should be able to hear a loud round of applause for that big amount of money. I'd like to invite President-elect Mr. Ken as well to come here for the photo opportunities for the handoff of the check, the dummy check, 80 million shillings from KCB 80 million shillings from KCB for the Federation of Motorsport Clubs of Uganda. Another 60 to the drivers that will be racing on the stages. And talk about the money. It's all in KCB. Thank you very much, KCB, and the best wishes and the continued commitment to be part of FMU and its biggest sporting event for the year. And I still believe it's the biggest sporting event on the continent. Thank you very much, without a doubt. Now, the sponsorship still comes in. Next week, we'll have somebody else to put other things into this event. And it, of course, goes without saying that the Pearl of Africa Rally is such an exciting event. On an individual basis, I've, I think, taken part through or in about 3 or 4 events. A fair share of results therein. But yes, never one of those rallies that you should never miss. Ray has been in the deep end of some of these events. Saidi Kaketo, just as much. I'll invite Mr. Ray Kabira to give a brief history of the Pearl of Africa Rally, and thereafter he'll invite the president of FMU to address us. And indeed, it's a very big job that he's taken up, diving in immediately into the action. Mr. Ray Kabira, the General Secretary of FMU.
I don't know why you've, okay, it's not hijacking. Our sponsors who are here, KCB, and the representative of Vivo Energy, Mark Motunji, my president-elect, Honorable James Akena, the members of the press, members of the executive, the clerk of the course, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think that I had, well, it is the MC that has really given me this opportunity. The Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally. This event has an over 25-year history in this country. The Pearl came to Uganda in 1996. And at that time, it was kind of, you know, back in the day, it was very difficult for a country to be on the ARC circuit. And at the time, Burundi was organizing the Great Lakes Rally. But in 1996, there was political turmoil in Burundi. And the event was threatened. So what happened is, Uganda at the time did not have this event. Was not the ARC. There were countries like Kenya, Zambia, South Africa. But the leadership of motorsport in Uganda at the time applied to the FIA to help Burundi organize the Great Lakes Rally in Uganda. And the Federation of Motorsports in Burundi agreed to bring the event and co-organize it from Uganda. But when we organized it very well, Uganda said, wow, it is possible. We applied for a candidate. 1997, we organized our first candidate event on the ARC circuit. which was very successful, and that is how the Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally gets born in Uganda. Since that time, we have been organizing this event, and there's been so many winners of this particular event. And with that brief history, I don't think I need to go to divulge into the various winners' date. Uganda has had its share of the winners, but in the past few months, I mean past few years, we've had winners from Kenya, Manville, I think, giving us a hat trick. Jimmy White is a guy who, I remember I once interviewed Jimmy White, and he said that what brings him to Uganda is the uniqueness of our fans. At the time we used to rally, the circuit used to be in Rubiri. And I remember him telling me that when he's driving, it's as if the fans are looking down on him from Rubiri and they are cheering. And that thrill, he never found anywhere in any other country. And that motivated him to always come back to Uganda. Our fans continue to be unique, and that cannot be taken for granted. And that's what gives us the government recognition. That's what gives us the FIA recognition as motorsport in Uganda being unique. I welcome, through you, Mr. MC, I welcome Mr. Katende David from the National Council of Sports. And at the same time, I would like to use this opportunity to invite my president, but for this particular event, the event manager of this event, Honorable Jimmy Akena, to take us through his preparation for the event. Honorable.
Allow me to thank the General Secretary of the Federation of Motorsports Clubs of Uganda. I would also like to thank all the executive members and members of the various clubs who've come here to be part of the official launch of Uganda's premier motorsports event in our calendar year. The Pearl of Africa is a great event in that it brings together our competitors plus also some of the best on the continent. And since this has been a premier event for a number of years, I am proud to have the opportunity to benefit from the experience and the work which has been put into it. I thank the team who have worked previously, and I want to thank the outgoing executive for all the support they've given us to make sure this event goes ahead. I also appreciate the cooperation we've had across the clubs, across all sectors to come through. And my special appreciation today goes to the KCB for standing with us in this event and for unveiling a great package which goes towards both the hosting and the support to the drivers who are going to participate in this event. In my own personal capacity, I don't have much to say, but to continue assuring that we are going to do our level best to make sure that this event lives up to its billing as our biggest event in the calendar year. And on my own behalf and on behalf of the team, I thank all of you for coming out, and let us enjoy a very successful Pearl as we move ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And for the next 4 years, definitely.
And incoming President Jimmy Akena, we've just had a brief speech for him about the Pearl of Africa Rally. And actually, I'm waiting to see what his new executive is going to serve the federation and the sport in general.
Of Mr. David Katende from NCS. The National Council of Sports is in charge of sports in this country, and just as much FMU falls under their docket, and they've done a very good job. They are supporting us for this particular event. Government sponsorship, for without it, definitely sports in this country may not run as it is bound to. I'd also like to recognize the presence of former National Rally champion Nasa Mutebi from Team Nash. Never won the PAL though, but has had an interesting drive. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Mr. Nasa Mutebi there is a former champion. Your own experience of the PAL of Africa Rally, Nasa.
Thank you very much. Our sponsors here, the president-elect and the executive, FMU, the chairman of the organizing committee, PAL of Africa Rally 2024. We are happy to see you all here. We are hoping to have a very good experience of the PAL of Africa Rally here. It's a place where men, women come to showcase what we have in form of talent. We're only appealing to the sponsors down here to lend us a hand so that we can go all out. We thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that is the car that Nasa Mutebi will be driving for the PAL of Africa Rally. And he just spoke about the sponsors. The National Council of Sports is chipping in with government funding, not just for this particular event, but for motorsport or the federation at large. And of course, without their support, we can't get moving. Without their regulation, we can't get going. I would like to invite Mr. Katende to give us a word about not the money from NCS, but the prospects of having this competition on the continent. Uganda is bound to host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. It's a big one for football. The PAL of Africa is the big one for motor rally. Mr. Katende, please.
Thank you, the Master of Ceremonies, our double president, but newly elected president for FMU, Honorable James Akena, the new members of FMU, members of the Motorsports Fraternity, members of the organizing committee of the PAL of Africa Rally, our partners in sports movement, members of the First Estate, good morning. Allow me, first of all, to take this moment to congratulate FMU for the various achievements that they have been able to register in the recent past, but also allow me to use this opportunity to recognize the people who make things happen and make things be the way we want them in terms of giving support to our programs, the sponsors, but in this case, I can see notable sponsors. And I cannot fail to mention that KCB seems to be seriously partnering with FMU to make this event happen. I also want to congratulate the other members of the private sector who have always come in and given a hand to our different sports disciplines, but in this particular one, motorsport. As government, the PAL of Africa Rally is not a mini event. To us, this is a major event. And this is the biggest event, motorsport event, on the calendar as far as we are concerned. Its impacts are not only local, they are regional and international. So we take it as a very, very important motorsport event for Uganda. Like its name says, it is the PAL of Africa Rally. Now we say PAL of Africa Rally, that means it is for the PAL of Africa. And the PAL of Africa is not any other entity, but that entity is called Uganda. So this is our prime event, which is a mover of many things. It is an economic catalyst. It is a promoter of sports tourism. It's a driver of many of our businesses. and is one of those men that give us those historical, joyous moments when we come to watch this event. So I would want to thank, therefore, the organizers of this event, that thank you for accepting to take lead to organize this event. And we expect that you are going to give us the best of that you can for everybody to remember 2024 Pearl of Africa Rally as one of those notable events that we have hosted in the country. We as government, we have the trust in the team that was constituted to run this event, and we think it is going to be one of our best this year. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noted, FMU is going through a number of changes, and I think it is changes for the best or better. We would want to imagine that let this event, which is coming at the stepping in of a new leadership team, be the best ever organized event for the new team. We want to see the leadership proving to ourselves, to us, that actually it's not going to be business as usual, but it is business with an extra input. I want to believe that the leadership of this federation, under the stewardship of a seasoned leader, is going to lead us to the right level of performance and the right level of achievement. As government, we commit to support FMU activities, and as you may be in the know, motorsport today is one of those priority sports for Uganda. And for that matter, it is one of those that we have hyped in terms of financial support, and I want to promise that we shall continue to give you that kind of support. Our message is we want to see stability. We want to see good governance. We want to see progress. We want to see constitutionalism in place. And remember, as we speak now, we have a new sports law in place. I'd want to advise and request that the new leadership takes time, first of all, to understand this law. Secondly, go ahead to implement the provisions of this law. Where you don't comply with this law, the law will take its course. And don't regret when the law decides on the other side. I want finally to thank the members of the First Estate. Thank you for always promoting all our sports disciplines, but today in promoting motor sport and particularly the Pearl of Africa Rally. I want to use this same opportunity to call on other private partners and players to join hands with FMU to move forward its sports agenda. With those many but few remarks, I want to thank everybody. Thank you for turning up. Let's have the best ever Pearl of Africa Rally. Thank you.
Representative from the government. I want to acknowledge the drivers that are around, Champion Nasa Mutebi, Ronald Sebuguzi, we have Edson Mungereza, the COC himself, Omama Yanja, quite a lot of rally drivers around. And the Super Special is going to be broadcast live on the YouTube page and all the social media pages of FMU.
It's just a few days away. If you haven't washed the rally suit, please, the dry cleaners are available. If you need money to go and watch the Pearl of Africa Rally, even still participate, you know where to go. KCB. If you have issues with how we are running this business, Lugogo, National Council of Sports is there to give you an answer. For the drivers, we wish you all the best. It's definitely bound to be an exciting event. Last year, the rain, Mr. COC That's a bit. Do we expect it this year? We still expect the rain this year? I should carry my boots and the raincoat. Anyways, the rain is such a good catalyst for rallying, but nonetheless provides exciting moments. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite my sponsors, my partners, the Federation officials, the National Council of Sports, executive members, the CLC, to come over for the photo opportunity.
And remember,
Still at the launch of the Pearl of Africa Rally Championship, we've had a speech from the COC, the president incoming of FMU, Nasa Mutebi, the champion, is also in the building, champion Kalisizo. Lawrence, what is your take of the organization and promotion of this event?
Dekone mu Uganda abanafaala nabasobola tutegeera bulungi nnyo. Event tumukwabo okuwange eri organized bulungi nnyo, tetunabawo na buzibu bonna wadde nga mabegako wabaddewo warrant maybe event eza n'obutagenda mu maaso. Naye event buli kimu ekyali kigenda maaso as planned. Basomeddemu itinerary COC agiyiseemu awo ne tugiyitamu, era bwe mba nkuyitiddemu nange okujjukiza ku COC byagambye. Ku Friday tujja kuba ne free practice, tujja kutandika ku ssaawa zijja kubeera ssaawa 3 zennyini. Tujja kubeerawo ne qualifying stage ejja kutandika ku ssaawa zijja kubeera ssaawa 4 ya 6 kilometers. Ejja okuba stage y'emu yabadde mu qualifying stage ejja kubeera Wairaka. From there tujja kugenda Ebujagaali abajjukira last year gye twavugira super special stage. Ejja kubeera 2.5 kilometers era ng'ejja kutandika ssaawa 6 zennyini. Olunaku tujja kuba tuligadde olunaku olusooka. Then ku day 2 tujja kukeera ku makya ku ssaawa 2:7. Emmotoka esooka ejja kwetandika stage egy'okuyitibwa Makarena 1. Stage eyo ya kilometers 25 n'obutundutundu 44. Bwe nava mu eyo emmotoka zijja kgenda mu stage gyeyitira Tadooba eya kilometers 8.95. Estage yakwetandika ssaawa 3 zennyini. Emmotoka bw'enaava mu stage eyo ejja kgenda refueling, tejja kgenda mu service paka ajja kulumira ewa remote survey ka remote refuel. Nywa amafuta esobola okweyongerayo mu stage ejja okubeera ey'okusatu Katusha 1. Stage ya kilometers 18.96. Emmotoka esooka ejja kuba etandika stage eyo ssaawa 3:36. Awo zijja kgenda mu service ku mobs ejjinja. Ate era zikomewo zidde mu stage ezo zisoose nga bwe zaazivuze. Kati awo stage ejja kusembayo ejja kubeera bajja kuyita Sulambaaya. Eyo stage ejja kutandika ssaawa ya kilometers 22.55. Stage ejja okuba sinnagivugako, ejja okusembayo ku lunaku olusooka.
Actually, ejja okuba ne power stage ku lunaku olwokubiri. So ku lunaku olusembayo era ejja okubeera nga ye power stage. But ezo stages eza day 1 which should be Saturday, eza leg 1 which should be Saturday because shakedown ne qualifying stage ziriyo ku Friday.
The risk areas of Jinja will be
kutolera murale negenda kuba yeetolera mu stages ezimu ziba ziddibwamu. Apart from the Friday stages, ne stages eza day 2 ne Sunday zonna kumpi zezimu.
Mpozi n'okunnyonnyolako abawagizi abagenda okuba nga batravelinga stages zino ku lino stages ziri nga tonaba kusala Nile. Eri ng'osaze Nile tulineyo just shakedown erina okuba awaali super special last year. Mmanyi abantu bange abamu batravelinga kulaba super special. Lino super special ye shakedown. Kati oba oyagala laba akasaawe oli wa Friday midday.
Actually era n'okwongeza ku ekyo nti abantu abalaba Pearl of Africa Rally last year almost stages ezimu zakyuse mu ndoomo sogo walabye last year era genda obolabira abajjukira ka roundabout mwekali awo, abajjukira side eno stage yasooka gye yali era gyeri naye zikyuka mu bukyusi katono. wabula saagala kwogera bigambo bingi nga sogedde ku kigambo kya safety. Bannange tuwasaba muve mu makubo, mwefuge. Bw'oba onyedde akiki tojja mu stage. Lwaki gwobeera ensonga lwaki stage esazibwamu? Twefuge bannaaye, tunyumire omuzannyo guno. Omuzannyo guno gunyuma tufenna tuli balamu. Era kigenda nti a good rally is a safe rally.
Yes, of course, n'okwongezaako ku ekyo kyennyini ba drivers badde bakyogerako nnyo bw'oba olaba post zonna, and I think most importantly Joshua Mwanguza ate yakiteeka bulungi mu lulimi lw'abantu abasinga okukola ki, abagenda okusinga okubeera mu rally. Mpozi kati katwogereko ne bamu ku barale drivers abagenda okuparticipatinga mu event.
Njagala okwogerako n'omu ku ba drivers abaliwo saawa eno olwaleero abaze ku launch eno, era nga wendi wano saawa eno nyimidde n'omwami ayitibwa Bisanizo Isaac Sozi. Weetegese otya mu event eno?
Event eno neetegese bulungi kuba tubadde n'obudde obumala era nsuubira okuperforminga obulungi mu Pearl of Africa Rally kuba si gwe mulundi gwange ogusoose ogivuga, mbadde mmanyi ebyetaagisa kugamba neetegese bulungi mu mbeera yonna.
Kyetunyumya ekyo. Emmotoka yeeredde?
Emmotoka ekyalimu obuntu butonotono naye kugwe lunaatuukira olunaku lw'enkya nsuubira bayinginiya bagiriko bajja kuba babumaliriza.
Osuubira kusimbula ddi okuwolekera?
Nsuubira okusimbula ku lwokubiri ekiro kuba ku lunaku olwokusatu n'olwokuna tugenda kubeera mu makubo.
Kyogamba ku bantu baffe kikwatagana ne safety mu rally eno naddala ku rally eno yennyini?
Mu event eno ya Pearl of Africa Rally yesoose ku kalenda ya Africa, buli muntu etunuuliddwa nnyo. Kati safety tugoberera amateeka. Ba safety maso bagambye nti beere ebbali tosalira wano tokola bwoti, tugobere tusobole okusigaza event eno kuba y'amaanyi nnyo ku Africa.
Tweyanza nnyo
Isaac Sozi Bisanyizo Rally Team. Katwogereko ne co-driver wa Isaac Sozi.
Monica Birinyo. Co-driver Isaac Sozi. Nyabo weetegese otya ku event eno?
Twetegedde ddala nga Bisanyizo Rally Team. Emmotoka is it called scrapping? Twajambulula yonna twali twakoona omuti on the side, so nefuna a bump eba a hump ekiyingira munda, a bump sort of, so twali tulina ogigolola tugizeewo ne bamakanika batugambye bye twayonoona bye tutaaloopa, but ffe tetwatira. Sometimes you never know what happens when you hit those humps and jumps and the rough. So batugambye tulina bye twayonoona, so nabyo babikozeeko. So right now the car is in perfect shape. Then we as competitors, we've also done our best. We've put in our entry, we've put in our documents, and they were verified. That's how we ended up on the entry list. So we'll get up to pal.motorsportuganda.com. That's where the entry list is. And yeah, we are excited. In our category, Sibyangu, kubanga tuina competition, na yetu jisobola. We are looking at being top of our division. Then Masaka twagamba twaitwaga kubeera number 5, and we actually became number 5. But now twagala podium. Yes. For NRC.
Okay, now what does it mean to you to be representing the women in motorsport Uganda?
For me, it's an honor. I don't know if the camera can zoom in and see this. Because for me, I speak for women in motorsport. I represent women in motorsport. I love to see a woman have her flowers. We are in this male-dominated sport, and I believe our touch can take the sport so many miles ahead. Yes, if they embrace us.
Actually, we have a legendary co-driver, Tuta Miyonki, as one of the officials at this event. A very important woman in motorsport. What does it mean to all the women in motorsport in Uganda having such a legendary co-driver representing at the Pearl of Africa?
For us, it's we look at it as opening opportunities and collaborations and partnerships, because I believe in us learning from each other. That's how we grow. So people like that coming to grace events like this is a very huge opportunity for women in motorsport. And I believe by the end of Pearl of Africa Rally, we are going to be in talks and see how we can partner and better the sport as women in motorsport in general. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me hijack you. There's another lady here. She's a woman in motorsport.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
What is the
Amanya Bamita Evelyn Kovsinje. I'm an administrator with MPU, that is Motorsport Promo Uganda, and I'm a fan of motorsport and a woman in motorsport apparently. And this year at the Pearl of Africa, we are championing a new theme of women in motorsport, care for environment. We are going to be working with Mr. Sebagala Kawesa, the FMU environment delegate, to make sure that the environment is clean, it is hygienic, and it is litter free for all our drivers and spectators. So expect a very clean rally.
What are the plans of safety? What plans do women in motorsport or message about safety are you sending to the fans that are going to be traveling across East Africa? Because this is, I think, one of the biggest rallies in East Africa.
We are saying, as women in motorsport, we are saying that motorsport can be dangerous. So we are saying kindly stay off the track, be safe, and don't run in the road. Kindly stay on the sides and be safe so that we can all enjoy the rally, and go back home safe at the end of the day.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the good words about this Pearl of Africa Rally Championship. Moving forward, Lawrence, about safety, do you think the safety concerns or issues have been addressed? You know, quite so many fans are going to be traveling.
You know, when Kugamba about safety back then, 5 years back, safety had been me as a competitor, man sobola kugamba nti abantu beyiwanga mu kkubo, but ekirungi ennyo right now nti bafans benyini bekolera safety. Osanga bagoba bannakyalo mu makubo, abantu bagenda mwere. So I'm thinking that I'm not even thinking, I'm very sure and confident that safety in Uganda ekyuse nnyo era yeyongedde okubeera ennungi ennyo. Tusuubira ne mu event eno safety okweyongerera ddala. Federation ebadde organizers mbalabye nga bakola omulimu gwabwe okusensitizing abafana
nga bw'ogimanyi ate newabawo n'enjeru emmyufu
erimu Equity Bank
maama ajja kukiwulira.
Season eno egenda obeera event ye esooka, and nkulaba ne co-drive ompya, oyina game plan ki ku Pearl of Africa and maybe plans za season yonna?
This time I think tubadde tulinamu obuzibuzibu tetwasobola kutandika nga season etandika, naye kati ketuzze mu Pearl tusuubira nti ebbanga lyonna tugenda kuba rally zonna zisigaddeyo tugenda nga tuzivuga n'obukambwe bw'ekika ekyawaggulu.
Kakati nsaba ompeyo akagambo ng'onyonyola bafans ku safety eri etya egenda kubeera babuulire kye balina okumanya ku kikwatagana ne safety.
Abawagizi b'emmotoka z'empaka naddala abagenda okubeera ejjinja gye tugenda weekend ejja, tubasaba n'obuwombeefu mukkirize emmotoka zino ntemu, emmotoka zino za mpaka tuzivuga ziwakana nga naffe tuziwakanya. So safety y'emmotoka y'empaka bambi mugibeere wala, tubaagala nnyo because mutuwagira, naye emmotoka z'empaka muzibeere wala, temusembera kumpi na kkubo. Ate ekyakabi nti obudde buzoba nga buseerera, so kati emmotoka esitaako yonna esobola okuva ku kkubo n'okusanga mu meters 10. So bwe muba nga muli eyo nga tuvuga mutuyambe buyambi, ffe twagala obulamu bwaffe, mubeere wala n'emmotoka z'empaka, era nga zigamba kutya nti emmotoka ya mpaka esaana kubeera wala, naye nga tubasuubiza tubaagala nnyo mujje bangi mulabe ekigenda okubeera ejjinja mu Pearl of Africa Rally ya season eno.
Tweyanza nnyo Medi. Kaakati waliwo omuntu wamu gwe nnengedde, omu gwe yandyagadde okuwulizaako bw'ali wano, omwami Onsiyano Lwakataka Mafumafu. Kyanyiza okukulaba ssebo.
Kale mukama wange nsanso balaba.
Nakulengeddeko ku entry list. Naye ate nga waliwo n'ensonga endala eri mu ddiiro. Sooka ombuli weetegese otya ku event eno?
Nze ng'omuntu netegese naye emotoka ekyabulamu era wano wendi ndi mukuyisa ndi mukwera buli omu muyitako mu kirasi ye onamba isese ne president mpya muyise mbona nanya sente za yingine waguno muzanya mazima gali ntibatuuliriza motoka ye mpaka tekola taxi tegenda ku mbaga tekwana tekola special tekola kiri kimu kyekola kumala ku stress na kusanyusa abantu so kati bembanga mpise yone nganti why era yeta note 10 ati kiri mu sitani na mazima gali muzanya mazanya kabiri mwena embira je ngubeddemu ate nga abantu banyumira wesonga abantu olabira muwagira mpira oguli ku screen gwase no gwachi nimuvone sente munawagira gwendo kwa mukibasu 15 agenda mukibanda kati obola banzo olaba live kolaba ngula mafuta ngula emipira ngula buli kintu obosa lwachi ayi nekira obango limuwagiza toli muwagizi wange ningo wagira moto sport siba mustani yenna ngobo wagine obo wandika baba wagide motoka za mpaka nze newe sometimes sebusinga mbamvu kati batwa bananga batomba yambako ngwato mpira mukate nogumuwa watalina mufuta mukate abino gamuwa botu tuyambo muzanyo bawo muzanyo kunyuma nyunge mukazi mweziri nyingi ne ogamanze sivuga no lenso ngole fina ku buli muntu yena mbasi kyagala bulamu bwange somba saba mwendo batuwagiranze ne go wagiranze manyi alina kuba kufuna manyi anange mwendi alina umuwagira bomubuza wakoze utanade wakusatu kuba meka ndi ku bantu 10 wakataka wabaddemu nti ndabaddemu oba wa manyi
mu bufunze tulina okukomya ejjogoze y'ababeerwa abo tekinyuma eventing eno okubaawo ate omunakenya n'agitwala erina okusigala wano ekintu ekyo bakyogeddeko mu vidiyo ezimu zinabadde ndaba kyongera okibanyonyola abantu bakitegeera
amazima gali nti abadde bantunuulira abadde bafollowing emyaka 15 mabega babiri bamanyi kyenkola nze 26 nze omu yakabya abazungu wano 27 nembaddamu mulokatoka n'ogipangulula awo bubina history nga omukulu mwambazi badde ogenda owandiika naliko okubiri naliko okusatu nalino waliwo nali empangu ddala nemoloka nefira kukkubo nga akola kintuuka kutegeera so experience salaba sajja kuva weeru kutumanyirira wano neguli omwaka ogwaggwa gwe navuga ne bapatero nalimba kubye bonna nga bagamba la 5 tekubikako zona nali nzikubye ekibuzo kinafuna bapa penalty nenkasuke mabega naye bali gusikubanga koso abanakanya abebweru sina kyembatyamu mumutya mutibi mugambulanyuka wumbi ebimutya byammwe nze ndi muvuzi njabala kakeera nsaba kimu wekwate tukole motoka yaffe mbalage nti buli kimu kisobola
champion just akatini nnyo merchandise wa mafumafu abamwagala bamusangawa
masati wegali kufira weziri ziri kuvigabba anekyebando nasobodde okukubya kasimu sokunkubira nekola delivery wona woboli
Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning to you. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yes.
First and foremost, congratulations about the post there.
The recent election.
It's a big one.
Thank you so much. Yes.
So we are here about the Pearl of Africa Rally. Can you tell us about what you think is going to happen and how the federation is handling it?
Federation, we have been moving well. We have a very competent team, both on the technical side and the organizing side. I have the good fortune to chair it, but all of the departments have been able to give us their requirements, and we've been addressing it. And then, of course, like today, the unveiling of the KCB sponsorship is a good sign of support to the event. And then, of course, later on in the week, we're expecting also Shell to unveil theirs. So things are moving, and we expect we're going to have a colorful and wonderful Pearl of Africa event.
Mr. President, we've had an issue about complaints generally about we've had drivers complaining about the timing system, and your new executive. How do you plan to address all these issues and grievances the drivers have been having?
We have got a new system on board. It was tried out in the Masaka Rally, which is going to be used in the Pearl of Africa. So these are some of the developments which have been taking place, and we hope it's going to create less controversy and be able to handle many of the issues going forward. So of course, with the new technology, we have to learn, come up to speed with it. But so far, I think the teams handled it well. The outcome of the test in Masaka, the Masaka Rally, has given us a good foundation for the Pearl of Africa. So I hope going forward we will not have issues in that particular department.
That one I can testify to that because I was a competitor there, and I know how it works. It's wonderful.
It has worked well.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Mr. President, thank you for the time you've given us. We are looking forward to have a formal interview with you after the Pearl of Africa rally.
One last one, Mr. President. Safety. What do you have to say about the safety?
Safety, we have to maintain safety in order to remain in a good position with the FIA. We have to make sure that we do not put the competitors or the public at risk. We've had an issue of our fans being very enthusiastic, but we request that people respect the safety issues. They remain in the designated area so that it does not affect us overall, but we'll do everything also, and the safety team is going to make sure that we do our best, that we don't put the Pearl of Africa into some level of problems with the FIA.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Tufunyewo ne munnaffe wano omulala sayinza okulaba muganda event yino etujiridde gw'ogyogerako ki?
Kusooka kwa byonna amanya gange Dr. Muwange Joseph Nsamba nga ndi musawo mu Mulago ate era nga ndi musawo wa Federation of Motorsports Uganda ng'era nva mu club ya Thousand Motor Club. Emotoka ebebabye esobola okugenda side eno obuwanvu bwe buti sabamu tetukozesa nnyo fujjo kugamba nti nze emmotoka nziruddemu nzimenyidde kambeere wano nja kubuukayo ng'evuddeyo then n'ekirala twewale nnyo okunywa ne tuvuga nga tugenza olaba emmotoka z'empaka ate situnywe nga ziwedde tusobole okukavinga olunaku olulungi.
Yanza nnyo budde Dr. bw'otuwadde.
Ntabo baleetera
tulina ne champion owa ekalisizo ate national rally champion Nasa Mutebi mu Evo 9
okuwaayo brief intro ku mwami ono mwami weeyo Jinja ali waka
champion
naye nga yakulira Masaka kugamba ajojobya mu side bbiri e Masaka neno
vice versa nazaliwa Jinja no nazaliwa Masaka nenkulira Jinja
kati ojojobya mu side zombi eri neno
Masaka namaze kati Jinja ekyo sijja kimalayo Jinja nayo kangende nkimaliriza
omusajja eyawangula NRC championship nga tawangudde event neji naye yagiwangula
abamu kye bayita obunafu ate nze sirowooza
balowooza kuswama ate nga
balowooza kuswama naye rally yonna ebeera ya strategy tulina okuba ne strategy ng'ovuga rally olina okumanya your strength olina okumanya your weaknesses n'ogamba ponsi yaano nja mukubira wano kankendeezeemuko
oli mu team Evo.
Of course, ndi mu team Evo. Team Evo yenze vice president.
President yani
deputy CDF. CDF waffe Jonas Matayo. Andaba sawa zino. Jonas Matayo. CDF. Evo. Ame. Sawa zino Jonas Matayo manyandaba. Era ansindise wano. Nzenga deputy CDF. Ansindise wano. Njogere n'abasajja asooka Ponsiano Rakataka CDF wa Subaru mugambe nti mukama wange Jonas jali akulinze mpozi nange abasigadde banaita mumpa Joshua Muwanguzi twamuwadde Dr. Mukasa
ate ye n'agamba Dr. Mukasa kama hizi ensonga ne stozi nezi ensonga zaggwe Masaka twazimala zaggwa
naye nze team Evo Ama yasazeewo egenda kumpa mu ekirindi Joshua Muwanguzi bagenda kumpa abantu nga basatu naye nze nja kubakolako siganya nja kubakolako omu ku omu
toganye
champion wateeka okuvuganya okw'amaanyi ekalisizo an event you won emotoka namu mu Pearl of Africa eno what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, Pearl of Africa rally, of course I'm looking at showcasing my talent now that we have some seat time in our Evo. We're looking at putting up a show for our sponsors, for our supporters, and I think it's going to be a good show. We're going to be all out, we're going to be a bit daring because we want to have a good result. And I think we shall achieve it.
Champion, about the safety of this coming event, what do you have to tell the fans since now overi abagizi baffe osobola bagamba mu lulimi lwaffe luli.
Yeah, first of all I would say nekino kanjogere mu lulimi ab'ejjinja lwe bategeera bana abeidinda ife abali kwida mu mpaka eda Pearl of Africa Rally edijja okubaawo wagati w'ennaku d'omwezi 10 ne 12 Meyi. Tuli kubakoba nti muve mu njira oba kale muve mu njira nga mwegendereza. Ayi tulikoba nti muve mu njira rale enungi neyo rale eweire nga wazia gwe batomeire. Twenda musibe ebisolo byaimwe biro bekutaayaya kuba bana abava Kampala baida bitomera rale eba weekend ndala yonka aye fe obulamu bulina okujja mu maiso. So abaana tubakomeku tubasibire mayumba twegendereze kuba titwenda muntu yena kufuna kabi nga ate twidye mu mulimu gwa kunumirwa. Aye kodi ekindi abaganda tulina bawangula morale eno era mwetegeke. Omuganda owondi sebo omuganda owondi
maaso gange nyimiridde ne COC Haji Omama Yanja sebo wakola luto yaddusa Karan Patel luli nadduka mulare nagenda ate nkene butyamu kuba negaterera era yampeza komisina ngamba regretting abachi yagenda. Sebo event eno eri etya ugitegese otya biki byosubira mu event eno tebaddukira?
Kyemmanyi nti nno omwami oyo Karan Patel yagamba bwe yali ng'amaze okuwangula African Championship omwaka oguwedde yagamba nti kyeyejjusa kyabutavuga Pearl of Africa kubanga yalina pressure nyingi nnyo omwaka nga guggwako okuba nti yali alina okuvuga rally ezisembayo ate nga alina ozimalako ate nga alina okumalira mu kifo ekirungi. Kati atejjukira manga ati yali amuleetedde eggaali n'abeera nti nno ali under pressure okwekuumira mu kifo. Naga singa yajja e Uganda n'avugayo ate just emmotoka tezaali nnyingi ne bwe yalifunyeyo obubonero 5 bwali bujja muyamba obutabeera na pressure eyo. So amakubo ge gamu nga last year era tetusuubira nti nno tugenda gafunamu obuzibu bwonna. Kituufu gafaanana bulala ng'enkuba etonnya era abavuzi bayita mu mureka enkuba yali etonnya naye nga amakubo tegalina mutawaana naddala nga wakalu nga bwe mwagala last year ate era n'enkuba ne bwebanga etonnye obviously rally driver nkugamba sookera ddala making sure nti no wipers ozikola, making sure nti no blower yo erongoosa endabirwamu mu maaso nti ekola, making sure nti no otaddeko emipiira nga mirungi tojja na mumbwa. Ekirala mpozi topapa mu nkuba tetukola ki tetupapa naye ate tetulegeza mu nkuba tebakubira mu ndobo ate tebalinyalinya buleeki. Ekyo nkibagamba nga bw'omanyi Lawrence nze expert wa
akaserezi.
Haji wali ovuzeko mu competition ene ya Pearl of Africa Rally. What does this competition mean to any rally driver participating in Pearl n'okugiwangula?
Yeah, so Pearl of Africa Rally obviously ye rally esinga obunene ku kalenda yaffe. Ye rally era kumpi esinga obunene ku African Championship kalenda. Ye rally omuntu agirimu ensi yonna wetegerera kubanga entry list ne results zaayo bigenda paka FIA era results zibeera published ne mu kitabo kya World Motorsport Almanac ne bagamba nti n'omwaka bwe guti gundi ne gundi bakoze eki ge bawangudde n'abatawangudde nabo bakola ki babateekamu. So omuntu oba oyagala okendeeza story ya gyenvuddewo abazzukulu baleme kwewuunyaga nti muzeeyi kweri yazivugako oba atulimba olina genda mu Pearl of Africa Rally because n'ataali wano Uganda amanya kino ki era abantu bagenda okujja wano oba oyinza okubeera ng'oli mu okola business out there let's say oba oyagala gula mipiira gya motoka ya mpaka nogaa nti nze Lawrence Mwambazi omuzungu n'agamba ono omusajja ayagala kunfera mu Nigeria oba naye bwakebera bwati wali aga nti Lawrence Mwambazi Pearl of Africa Rally yali wakusatu yagamba ono ye muntu omutuufu okukola ki okukolagana naye. So erina prestige ate eri world renown ate era eri ngamba history omuntu avuze ku motoka z'empaka gwalina okuba ng'alina.
Gwenga COC, how challenging is it okuorganizinga rally mu nsi erimu abawagizi ndowooza mu Africa abasinga obungi because there are safety concerns there. Challenges kigwe nga siyosi zoyitamu okuselectinga routes ezigenda okubeera safe ku side y'abavuzi n'abawagizi.
So abawagizi baffe abangi nga bw'ogambye ekituufu Uganda yesinza abawagizi. Abawagizi abali mu Uganda basinga okwata abawagizi abali mu Africa bonna bonna n'obagatta aba Kenya Abanyarwanda baani bonna tusobola kuweza muwendo guli bawagizi babeera mu stage emu e Uganda. So ekintu ekyo kisoomooza naye ateera mukisa nti nno abantu abazze okuvuga emmotoka z'empaka abazivuga nabo tebalyagala singa baali badde bagendeeyo mu faamu ne bazeevugira bokka nga tewuli balabi naye baagala nabo okulaba kuki kumanya nti waliwo abalaba ate era n'abaziteekamu ssente organizers ne basponsors nabo baagala nabo okumanya nti nekintu kyabwe kifunye ettutumu naye nga challenge abawagizi abamu empisa tukyalimu empisa ez'okwagala okuba nti nno tewazze kulaba mmotoka z'empaka oyagala emmotoka z'empaka ze ziba zikulaba oyagala oyimirire wakati w'ekkubo emmotoka y'empaka ejja ekutunulemu owulire oyagala kubuuka ogyeraga oyagala kubuuka okuba ejjampa esinga neyo neweebuuka owulidde kati echallenge tulina mba so abawagizi ekisookera ddala kyakubasomesa kumanya nti nno osobola okuddako ebbali wali mita ze bakoze ekyo basibye akaguwa baana naye akaguwa wekali era emmotoka esobola okutuukako kyali kibaddewo mwakiraba e Kenya nawe wali akaguwa emmotoka esobola kuwawa nejja nekayitamu nekutuukako naye at least beera emabega wakaki ate emmotoka ogitunuulira ennyo ogyekalirize kubanga singa etandika okuwaaba otandike naawe okunoonya gyokola ki gyogwa kuba tetwagala mitawaana egyo so abawagizi bwe tumala okukyusa eyo ki endowooza eyo tewali buzibu bulala bonna kubanga lwale tugitegese mu makubo eyo mubikajjo teriyo byalo teri mayumba teri mbuzi teriyo baana bato bagenda ku ssomero teri nzizi mu bikajjo munda temuli nnyo nti mulimu nayikondo abantu kubakima amazzi so rale eri 100% closed eri 100% safe so si kyangu okufuna mileage entuufu kubanga tetwagala tekola rally ngeri too slow naye ate kisobokera ddala era we've done it. Yeah.
Mr. COC, tuyanza akadde k'otuwadde. We are looking forward for a successful event.
Mpozi okujjukiza gwe omulabi super special stage egenda kubeeragibwa wano live ku channel yaffe
ku channel za FMU zonna and actually Lawrence ogenda beera competitor.
Ngenda kubeera competitor.
How forward are you looking for?
Oleka muganda nge
okubeera mu pal.
Team eri drugs express rally team ngenda kubeeramu ngenda kuba mvugana mwami gwata Dr. Mustafa Mukasa tugenda kuvuga Mitsubishi Evolution 9 era nga twasobodde okwewandiisa okuvuga ARC2 tugenda kuba tuvuga ARC2 ARC2 tulimu emmotoka 3 mulimu eyakuku mulimu ffe mulimu ne Michael Mukula naye nga sinagendayo katusooke tukuwe General Secretary of Federation.
Congratulations.
I'm still trying to get used to the change of titles. I don't know whether this is a promotion, but what I know is it's just a new opportunity to serve the Federation, probably with an even better bird's view. So I'm glad that the motorsport fraternity has given me an opportunity to serve once again.
You've served the Federation in a different capacities, had an experience on the different Pearl of Africa rallies. How different is this year's edition from the other competitions?
First and foremost, the Pearl 2024 is different from the previous competitions because for the not really the very first time, but this time round there is a lot of government support. Most of the previous editions, it was really about the Federation and the corporate partners. And sometimes the corporate partners would come into the event with a big bang, and in some editions there was really a struggle. But what is uniquely consistent is the spirit of volunteerism. This has been consistent in the over 25 years that we have organized the Pearl of Africa Uganda Rally. So I don't expect it to be any different this time. The motorsport people are very enthusiastic about this event, and us, the custodians, the leadership, all we have to do is to show them direction. Once again, we are going to focus a lot on the safety of the event. The stages that have been chosen, and I think the COC has talked about this, are focusing a lot on closed stages, because that is where the sport has been directed to go. You remember in the many years back, we have been running competitive stages, what we call the CS. But now we are running stage rallying. Stage rallying is slightly different from competitive stages, because we are taking this from public roads which are closed to the rally, to now stages that are mainly on private property. So we think that this will enhance the safety of the event. We are also looking at giving this event, for the first time, we have invited officially the press from other participating countries to come and capture and give publicity to this event outside of our jurisdiction. And we think that this is not just beneficial to Uganda, but to the ARC circuit as a whole, because the fire has been burning out over the years. The level of participation from competitors has been going down. The level of participation from the countries has been, dwindling, and we want this fire to be rejuvenated.
Actually, I was just about to ask you that same question. What has led to the decline of foreign entries in this particular event?
Yeah, we have diagnosed this. Motorsport has become a very expensive sport. And this has come to the fore because the vehicles have become more expensive. The requirements of the FIA have become more stringent, so that the cars which we have, many of the cars no longer qualify to be part of the ARC. So they are driving in the national championships. And when you realize Uganda is now still the only African country that can garner up to 40 entries in an event. The rest of our colleagues are having 10 cars, 10 to 15 cars. So it has come to the fore that the championship is kind of constrained by the level of participation, because the cars have become expensive. You know very well, for Uganda, the most competitive cars we have right now are the vehicle of Yasin Nasser, the vehicle of Just Mangat, and those are R5 cars. They are costing in the region of 1 billion in Uganda shillings, and that is well over 200,000 US dollars. How many people on the continent can afford this? So we have put up a case to the FIA, and they've created categories. Now you can hear about the junior championship, you can hear about ARC2 category, ARC3 category, where some cars, R3s and our original Group N cars can participate. But it is still expensive, because when I come to an event like the ARC, I want to be competitive. So we are still trying to lobby to see how best can we make the championship more affordable. In January this year, we put up, as Uganda, we put up a proposal, and that proposal started with publicizing this event. And the FIA has responded. They've sent us a small grant, but which we think will be good in that direction. That grant is going towards publicizing this event. But we are also working on having a universal sponsor, so that if, for example, Vivo Energy is in all these countries, why can't Vivo Energy be lobbied as from the FIA level, so that Vivo Energy and their Shell brand can sponsor the entire circuit, so that as organizers we divert our resources to helping our competitors participate more. And we are also lobbying with the FIA to see how we can tweak these homologations a little bit better to allow more participation from competitors. And that is the direction we are trying to take.
Mr. General Secretary, we've seen over the years an increase in the participation of women in motorsport. Yes. And this year itself we have a renowned legendary female co-driver as an official at the Pearl of Africa Rally, Tuto Miyonki. As a person that has served under the Federation, what does this mean for the sport, the increase of the female participation?
You know, women in motorsports has become and is increasingly become a pertinent issue for the FIA, even for our other affiliation, the FIM. You know that our past Vice President, Noella Blick, is now a chairman of the Women Commission for the FIM, and Irene Blick is a member of the WIM at the FIA. It is very important to have these ladies participate. Michelle Moton at the FIA level, she's the head of the safety department for the FIA. By having these women participating more, you know, it has an implication on the participation of men. Because for us as men to be in sports, we have wives back home who must be in agreement with us to be part of the sport. This is an extreme sport. So we have to open it up to show that in as much as an extreme sport, it is safe. And the best way to do that is to have women part of this, to understand the sport and to be able to, you know, participate more. Yeah.
Talk about safety to the fans that are going to be traveling and the fans in the eastern part of the country.
Yeah. Once again, as we go to the eastern part of the country, in Jinja, we are using an international highway. That is the road that is the gateway to Uganda. The Jinja highways, the gateway to Uganda from the coast. It means that it is a carrier of international goods, it is a carrier of trailers, it is a carrier of fast cars. While we are using it, I want to make this communication to the fan. For us as organizers, we have gazetted speed lifting instruments from the Ministry of Transport and Works for our competitors. We have also put in place all the safety measures in these stages, but we have no control on the public roads. The control is in our hands as fans, as road users. So I want to ask all of you who are going to be using these roads, please pay attention to the traffic guidelines of this country. Respect other road users. Do not drink and drive. Do not exhaust yourself when you're going to go on the highways. And make sure that when you go there, you come back alive.
And that is what we ask of you.
Thank you very much for the time you've given us, and looking forward for a very successful event.
And lastly, we are having
a renowned motorsports journalist, Rob Styles. You've traveled across the entire Africa covering this beautiful sport. Very many people look out for you for highlights of this sport, even us inclusive. We are sometimes in the stages and we're on Harper Sport Live.
Sure.
What is the difference between covering the Ugandan event on the ARC calendar compared to the other events across the continent?
Okay, maybe the question's a bit tricky, but when you look at covering the international events and local events, I mean, the difference is in the way how you prepare yourself, you know. It's a bit difficult to cover the international event. I will say first, or I'll tackle that first. How difficult is it? The challenge we always, the challenge always Harper Sport gets, like you will have to go and do recce. You will have to find the sports with the networks. You will have to find the best internet service providers in that country that you have gone to. So those are all challenges. Technically, if you would want to give out some good work to the viewers or to the public, because they will always, you know, have that hope in you. They are always thinking you're going to give them the best, and surely you will have to give them the lives. You will have to give them the feeds. So the most challenge is when you have failed to get the good internet provider, and then the way how you reach to those stages. Because it's hard for me like to be moving with my own car away from Uganda. You go
part of, and so many between the Motorsport Forever. Thank you for covering the event. Just to be sure, we don't want to leave anyone out.
About just remind you once again, the Super Special will be live on this same link.
Courtesy of Motorsport
Forever.
Yes, so stay tuned. Abanasigari waka. Naddala abo abagamba nze ninamu ka pressure, so you're sorted. We shall be live on the pages. We shall share the links on different platforms. So look out for those links and, you know, give your feedback. Sagala kwerabira ba sponsor chovola banchaba nonya wano. I don't want to leave anyone.
But
Yeah. There's Uganda government, the government of Uganda. There's Shell, there's Uganda Railway, there's Fire and Safety Appliances, Source of the Nile Hotel, Ginger, KCB Bank, Sugar Corporation of Uganda Limited, Moobs Campus, Ginger Campus, Ginger City, Rupaleria Group. And that is it. We've had a fun event and we can't wait for the actual rally to start. See you in Ginger.
See you.
Women in motorsport, and of course support women in motorsport. How did I forget?
Jackson. Yes, 1 minute. Jackson Magumi. Mama.
Malayo. Nawe weteke mu. What's kavinge? Nawe ube. Wabali mu branding wa moto.
Wenga toli.
Komawo Jackson. Baba tukubya datona tukubya kifananyi. Ega nange kale kakuterewo kakubya.